Let's go. Week 4, baby.
Pound the Walk podcast.
Pound it.
Episode 4.
All right, we've been doing this for a month, man.
Yeah, and it's fun.
It's a good time, man. This is a fun part of my week. So hey, I'm glad we're doing this, and people are still watching us for some fucking reason.
And I forgot to say it in the beginning of the last episode, guys. It just comment anything at this point.
We're so desperate. You could
just
comment
for a comment. I just want love there. Comment it, but honestly, if you want to comment a suggestion or a question, we'll answer it. It'll be fun. But
it's gonna be a great time.
We're now at the point of the season too. Obviously, we've been making our picks, and we just saw it before we start recording. I'm losing now by, I guess, a significant amount now, and I kind of care now. So I'll hopefully go on a run here. But yeah, week 3 was I guess an interesting one once again. And today's Thursday, so we got the start of week 4 tonight. Was it the Cowboys versus the Giants? That'll be exciting.
It should be a good game, or at least an interesting one to say at the least. Or it could be complete dog shit depending on how these guys show up. But
division matchups, man, you never know.
But hey, before we go into the future, let's take a look at the past here, man. Let's see what happened here.
Man. It was a rough one for us boys. Team Josh. Started off the Thursday night of last week of our episode.
We both got that one
handled.
right.
New York Jets handled, man. Did what they had to do.
Look, Aaron's starting to look a little bit more like Aaron, and the Patriots are reverting back to being dog shit like we thought they'd be.
Yeah, man. I guess I don't know. Have you ever heard of it? Aaron Rodgers, he does Percocet sometimes before games, prescribed. I'm assuming. He was balling out, man. He was probably perked out, just slinging that thing. He was looking like young Aaron.
Hey, man. Good for him.
They got him back on Pat McAfee's show. That was cool.
Yeah, that was a fun game to watch. Good way to kick off the week. Also, shout out to my Orioles, by the way. We made the playoffs.
Bird up.
But yeah, great game to watch. But hey, this is where we start to drift apart a little bit.
And it's the Colts. It's your boys, so I guess
it's my boys. It's the Colts. We were hosted the Chicago Bears. Despite our offense not really clicking, other than the run game, we pulled out a dub. Defense looked solid. Picked off Caleb Williams a couple times. Looking pretty good back there, even without DeForest Buckner. Yeah,
a lot of negative Caleb Williams narratives now. I don't know, man. It's still early, man. I'm sure he's gonna. He's trying to do a little bit too much, but it's because he is a playmaker. I remember watching a lot of that. And shout out the Colts grinding out and getting a dub. Obviously, I'm rooting for them. I picked Chicago just because the Colts look so sloppy. But man, they got it done. They looked. I don't know. Anthony Richardson. He's so young. He just needs to develop, dude. But I believe in your coach, Steichen. So.
Look, they're playing good. Jonathan Taylor had over 100 yards on the ground. That when he does that, we typically have decent results. So, shout out Colts.
Yeah, and then we had New York stinking up against Cleveland. Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun had a couple of decent throws, but he still looked like absolute dog shit.
Well, I'll say this, though. I feel like I may have said it on the episode last week. I hope I did. If not, I'll false claim it. I was saying Amari Cooper, man, he's been getting those targets, and a good game was coming his way. 2 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out Amari Cooper. I'm still big on him, too. He's going to keep cooking, man, I'm telling you.
Shout out Devin Singletary, stopping at the 1 yard line to make sure that they win. It's either that or he had the over on the over on the spread.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw him fall down. But we got Green Bay beating Tennessee. We both got that right, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, Will Levis is just, I don't know, was there another meme of him that game? I mean,
they tried to force it a little too hard this week, but there was this one play where his legs, his chest was facing forward, his legs were facing backwards. It was pretty absurd.
Oh, beautiful.
So I guess that works.
I gotta. What we need to do is at the end of the season, just find a Will Levis picture from each game and just do like a montage.
It's bound to happen. I mean, at this point, he's just like a meme quarterback. I hope he turns it around. I thought he was gonna be like a 4,000-yard passer this year. I mean, they do.
Maybe he just doesn't have enough mayonnaise in his coffee or something.
D-Hop might be a trade-worthy guy going here into the middle of the season.
There we go.
New Orleans.
Bit of an upset.
We both picked New Orleans, right? Which we both had in our top 3 power rankings.
A little bit of an upset. I mean, I can't really count out Philly, but how we were speaking of New Orleans that week. I was really expecting different results, but shout out Saquon, man. He turned it up.
Yeah, and that's the NFL for you. I mean, like this is one of those games coming into probably more than any other this week where you're like, oh, bet the over, or they're just gonna be in fireworks, and it was just more of a grit and grind game, at least early on.
Dallas Goddard was he's probably one of the more productive tight ends right at this point because of that game.
He had a big chunk play last week.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Hey, good job, Philly, for pulling that one out.
Ah,
Yeah, man. Sorry.
Hey,
Sorry.
I'll say this: I think you had the Chargers in your top 3 power rankings. Shout out you. I had definitely thought of them as like top 5. I said that, and so did I. I had Pittsburgh as well for a good reason. Pittsburgh's defense and also team identity, which I mean they've done it for a long time. But the Chargers and the Steelers were a good matchup because of that very very similar identity, and they did it better than us. They not only that they beat us up. It's unfortunate. If you looked at our injuries, I mean, the most biggest ones, obviously Herbert retweaked his ankle, which already was a high ankle sprain, and he's being Justin Herbert in the sense that he really wants to play. I don't know. Joe Alt hurt his knee, probably going to miss a few weeks. Star right tackle already as a rookie. Our star left tackle, Rashawn Slater, hurt his pec, which I think is another re-injury. I'm pretty sure he had, like, pec surgery, if I'm not mistaken. So, both tackles out, Herbert's banged up, and then Joey Bosa, first 2 snaps of the game, misses the whole game after that, retweaks like a hip injury. We are beat up.
It's not a good sign this early.
It's early. We got an early bye week. Play Kansas City next week, so I don't know. I would love to see Taylor Heineke out there and actually win. That'd be amazing. We win, and then had Taylor Heineke out there winning. That shit would be hilarious. So
that'd be pretty funny.
I'm all for it.
Hey, shout out Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, man. Rough for us, though.
You know who it's not rough for, though? Houston versus Minnesota. This Minnesota magic keeps on going. Shout out Venom Collectibles.
Biggest statement game of the season. I mean, obviously we're early, but is that not one of the biggest statement games of the season?
I mean, look, we were all on the Houston hype train early on. I counted out the Vikings pretty early, and they shut me the hell up. Great game to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Sam Darnold, I mean, I definitely wasn't thinking Minnesota was going to really do anything. At least I didn't think they were going to start off 3-0. I did think Sam Darnold was going to cook. Let's continue that narrative. But
shit, he got what, four tutties that game? Something like that?
He was cooking. I think they were probably up like 28-0, maybe like early in the second. Like it was something crazy like that. It was just like big blowout, and it's against Houston, a great defensive mindset with their head coach and D'Amico Ryans. Obviously, fireworks on their offense, and the Vikings defensively and offensively, like they
owned that game 34-7. Good job, Vikings. Skull.
Yeah, good job, Vikes. Tampa, we both picked Tampa over Denver. I mean, Denver that's their first win, obviously, right?
Yep.
Bo Nix. I like Bo Nix's post-game press conference, or on the field. He sounded like a legit starting quarterback who leads the team. I know that probably means nothing, but I guess shout out Denver, ew. But
I guess. I mean, I talked a lot of shit about them last week, and the Bucks looked good. Up until this weekend. I don't know if Baker's hurt or what, but
see what happens. Early
good job,
in the
Denver.
year, man. And then another upset, I guess you would call this. I mean, yeah.
Andy freaking Dalton, man.
Yeah, shout out the Panthers for pulling that out. I guess
36-22, man.
Or whatever turned out to be make the right decision and benching Bryce Young, I guess.
So it just means that Bryce Young was that bad.
Week. That should be fun.
Do they play the Bengals? That'll be a good game.
Yeah, that'll be a fun little revenge game. So we'll see with that. What's next?
We have Seattle and Miami, right?
Yeah, Seattle's looking like one of the hardest teams in the league to play. Once again, another great offensive and defensive team. I mean, Geno's been leading the way, doing their thing, man. So,
shout out Geno. Yeah, that was a little bit of a shocker for me. I didn't think they'd be as prominent as they are, but
I mean, they got a great young set of DBs. I know that for sure. And I mean, whatever. It was Miami still. I mean, Miami's still working on whatever the fuck they're doing. I know
they're figuring
Skylar
it out.
Thompson's hurt. They got Tyler Huntley coming up. So
let's go diet Lamar. Let's go.
Miami needs to make a trade, man. I'm telling you, just do a splash trade. Get like Jameis or something. I don't know. Trade like a 3rd round pick for a quarterback, a real quick one, like a few years. I mean, not quick, but like. You know what I mean.
A little bridge player. I got you.
Exactly. That's the word I was thinking.
All right, all right.
Detroit handled Arizona. That's another game I got wrong. I thought Arizona's been looking hot, and Detroit
Nah,
looked
man.
bad the week before. But yeah,
They
Detroit's
I
being
figured
Detroit.
they were gonna come back. I thought they were gonna bounce back, and they did.
You got
Still
your
a close
typical.
game though. It was 2013, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it was you got your typical Dan Campbell post game like in the locker room thing going. The Detroit narrative is moving on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, David Montgomery had a solid game. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, when those two produce, you're gonna have good results. So, shout out
That's a
Detroit.
Super Bowl team, man.
Another shocker. I mean, I know both teams are a little banged up, but I just figured,
Yeah.
the Rams would be outcoached. When I
Yeah,
was
that's an obvious
mistaken.
upset, but division matchup once again, y'all. You never know type thing, and two great coaches. I saw a pick after the game. Sean McVay like had his hand over Shanahan's like head, like rubbing him down, like, "Hey, good game, buddy." Like
Little Buddha
next
action
time,
going on.
son, next time. Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
big upset, but again, both teams are banged up, so it was a close game either way. So, shout out
Baltimore
LA.
looked nasty the first 3 quarters here, beating Dallas. We both had Baltimore winning that. Obviously, they needed it just a little bit more than Dallas, I believe, but ultimately, too, I think the Ravens are probably the best 1-2 team in the league. I mean, they've competed in all 3 games, and they're the Ravens for a reason. I mean, coming into the season, they were one of the favored teams for the Super Bowl. But Lamar looked like a beast early on.
Derrick Henry was unstoppable.
Hell yeah. Derrick Henry and Lamar, this was the typical game that, like, all the fans were looking forward to coming into the season. Like, I think it was probably, like, 200 yards combined easily on the ground with both of them.
I mean, I think Derrick had over 150, so, I mean,
Yeah,
if Lamar...
had, like, 70-something.
Yeah, so, easily.
Yeah.
Great game to watch. I did catch most of that before I had to tip off, but awesome game. But where I tipped off to is the last game here. KC at Atlanta. Beautiful game to watch. Ton of KC fans in Atlanta.
Really? Yeah, I mean, probably everywhere, right?
It was crazy. Anytime something happened on either side of the ball, that someone was cheering. So, great game to watch, though.
Taylor Swift there?
I could not find her, and she probably dipped out early, considering Kelsey had yet another underwhelming game.
Yeah, man. Kelsey hasn't really done shit this year, I guess. But Kansas City finds ways to win.
They certainly do. Couple of questionable calls, to be honest with you. But
the one in the end zone was insane. I mean, it is getting kind of ridiculous, but I don't know. We'll see. Play the Chargers next week. Maybe the refs will start fucking them over. And
perhaps. I mean, they were getting close towards the end. I think, a couple of questionable calls, would have swung it the other way. Kirk Cousins was starting to get back in his groove. But your boy, Carson Steele, he had a solid game. He had a solid game. I think he had 72 yards on the ground, and then Rashee Rice, balling out in over 100 yards in the air. So
they wanted Steele in the end zone bad too. They were trying to pound the rock with him in the goal line. I don't think he got in the end zone.
I don't believe he did, but
good. He did look
yeah, he's looking solid for a new guy. He's looking very solid, and again, KC finds ways to win, whether it's the refs, whatever. W's or W's, man. Play harder next time.
Monday, man. Monday Night Football doubleheader, which, for one, I don't know. What's your opinion on this? I thought it was, like, gross to have 2 Monday Night Football games going on at the same time.
It was terrible because I was on a flight back home and trying to watch that on my phone. It was very difficult. So, fuck you, NFL, for that. And fuck you again because it's going to happen again this week.
Yeah, exactly. They're doing it again. And, I mean, but I don't know. So, to elaborate on the first game, I guess you call it the first game, Buffalo just straight destroyed Jacksonville. Like, it was a complete slaughtering. Jacksonville's defense, they got completely exposed. I think there was something along the lines where they ran man like almost 90% of the time, at least coming into the game. So they ran a lot of man, and they just literally got exposed, the best way to put it. And Josh Allen had your typical MVP game. He was doing whatever he wanted. Like, he could either stay in the pocket and progress and just sling it like Brett Favre, or he could roll out and he was just cooking down the field and not getting touched. When I was watching the game, it made me envious. I was like, man, why can't I need Justin Herbert to show this awareness to not get hurt, which is crazy to say about Josh Allen, right? But think about it, Josh Allen never gets hurt, and this year he's playing even more safer than he's ever had. Oh, he looked insane.
He looked great. It was like playing Madden on rookie mode with all the sliders turned up. So, like you said, he was doing everything he wanted to do. Every player on offense got a tutty at one point. So shout out Buffalo. I have them as a top team for a reason. I have Josh Allen as MVP candidate, and so far that's looking all right. So
It was an MVP
good job,
game
Buffalo.
for sure, like an MVP performance, like at its highest peak. I feel like the next game that night though was probably, I mean, no, not even probably. It was more exciting, and it's ironic too because Jaden Daniels had one of the greatest quarterback performances like ever too. And shout out my Skins. The only other team I'll rep is like my team is the fucking Skins, baby. And fuck the Bengals. So yeah, the Skins balled out, man. Shout out Terry McLaurin too. Shout out
He
Terry
had
McLaurin.
that was a pretty nice bomb that he caught there. So
Yeah, and he missed. There was one in the first half where Jaden Daniels also just like the game winner had to get it out really early, and he was wide open. It was just like a bad ball, I guess you could say. But I saw also a clip where Terry McLaurin said after the game that he told like Cliff Kingsbury and Jaden Daniels like right before that possession, he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna have like throw me a go ball for the win. Like I'm gonna break him on the go." And he like said he was gonna run press, he thought, and then the cornerback backed off. He hit him with a double move, and Jaden Daniels just threw it up like he knew where he was going.
hey, that's what they practice for, man. Those are the fun plays to watch,
yeah.
man. It's good stuff.
Dude, the other receivers, I mean, sorry to even more, like the other receivers on the left side of the field for the Skins, they didn't even know what the play was. Like it was literally just like throw it up to or to Terry McLaurin. No, it was pretty sick, man. Football, I love it.
I'm just glad McLaurin's finally showing a little bit of life here. The first couple games, I was like, damn, they're just not going to use him at all. But they're finally getting him in there. I think now that defenses know that Jaden Daniels can kind of wheel with his legs there. They start pressing up more, and just a guy like McLaurin, he's going to take off on you. So
Yeah, man.
good job, commies.
Hell yeah.
Hail yeah, right, is that there?
So where we go straight to power rankings then, right?
Yeah, we can jump into that.
Yeah. So this is a fun segment that I enjoy doing. Our top 3 power rank. Do you want to kick it off with your top 3 right now after this week?
Sure, I can start it off. Number 1, I got the Bills. They're only looking better week after week. Josh Allen, obviously we just talked about it. He's playing some high level football. Damar Hamlin comes from the dead and gets a pick.
Turned over in the grave and got a turnover on the field.
So he came back from the grave. He killed Tua, and now he has a pick.
Killed Tua too.
This guy's having
Grim Reaper, dude.
this fucking guy right now, man. But no, Bills look great. Next, I got the Vikings. Sam Darnold is playing almost elite level football, if not elite level at this point. You got Justin Jefferson out there. If he's an option and he's healthy, the sky's the limit, right? And just having that tool, and then their defense did really well. They have a huge test this week, so let's go. We'll see how it goes. And then KC, I gotta bump them into the top 3 at this point, just because they are undefeated, and like we said earlier, they are just finding ways to win. They keep the momentum going when they need to, and they make the plays that matter. So you can say it's the refs are helping them all they want, but they're taking advantage of it and they're winning games. So
Yeah. Yeah, my top 3 is actually the same teams but different, I guess slightly different, because I have the Vikings going 3. I mean, like, you can't deny it. But that being said, number 2 and 1, I got 2 at the Chiefs and 1 with the Bills. Ultimately, my decision of that order is I still got the Chiefs beating the Vikings if they had to meet head-to-head, and I got the Bills ultimately looking like the best team right now, man. I mean, last week was just insane like we were just talking about. So that's my top 3, Honorable mention, though, obviously the fucking Steelers.
I was going to put them in there, but they're just not producing enough on offense. I know they just took down the Chargers, who are a great defensive team. I just don't think they're producing enough on offense for me to really put them into the higher parts of the power ranking, personally. Yeah,
it broke my heart that we couldn't really throw the ball downfield against them. But it really was like pass rush is just amazing with them, and their durability, obviously, it outshowed for us. But yeah, I mean, shout out the fucking Steelers, man, 3-0.
I didn't expect it, so good job, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Fields got something going for me. He's got some juice going, man. He's playing better than Caleb Williams. That's fun to keep track of.
I think it's just because he's not on the fucking Bears, man. There's a common denominator here.
Yeah, shout out Mike Tomlin. Ultimately, he's a great coach, man. But my dog
Yep.
Harbaugh, man, we're gonna keep going. Are we pulling up our picks for week
Let's
3?
let's go for week 4, man.
I mean week 4. Shoot, man, the season's
Yeah,
going
man,
by
we're
too
a
fast.
month into it, brother. We're a
Doesn't
month
that,
into
like,
this shit.
I don't know about you, but it almost like it is bittersweet. Like when I'm like, damn, the season's going by too fast. You know what I mean? I'm like, fuck.
Man, that just means we're closer to playoff football, brother.
Hope the Chargers are in it, man.
Blind as shit, man.
So we got our week 3s. I'm 27 and whatever, and you're 30 and whatever. So yeah, I'm down 3 games from you. So I'm hoping to look for some disparity between yours and mine. Do you know if I'm on the left or you're on the
Josh is on the side.
All right, Josh. I'm Josh. So we got we're just gonna go. Yeah, we'll just go back and forth on these games. So like obviously tonight we have Dallas at New York. You and me both got Dallas. I think if it goes the way like it should, Dallas is probably gonna whoop up on the Cowboys, and they're gonna get CeeDee Lamb the ball. That's what I would say.
Yeah, Dallas is playing, like you mentioned last week, a little bit inconsistent ball. They started to turn things around a little bit last week, so I do see a little life. I'm just not sold on the Giants yet. I don't care if they win a couple games here or there. I'm not sold on them. There's a countless amount of times where you see a really good team not practice that hard because they're playing such a garbage-ass team.
Yeah.
Not that the Browns were any good, but I don't know. I just, I think it was a fluke. Sorry, but hey, this is where we start to split it up a little bit.
I need them.
So we got New Orleans at Atlanta. I've got New Orleans. You got Atlanta. I think last week I'm not sure entirely what happened. Philly just wanted it a little bit more, but I think the Saints will come back. It's a divisional game. Should be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I got Atlanta. I guess my reasoning behind that ultimately is my hype for the Saints quickly died down. I mean, they obviously had a historic start offensively to the season, and they were forcing a lot of turnovers. But then I guess you could also counter that and say there was a lot of big splash plays, and obviously once they get limited down to not being able to make those plays, and then you got Derek Carr maybe getting under pressure, etc. But yeah, and I like how Atlanta's played. Atlanta's played consistent football, and I love Bijan, and I think Kirk Cousins actually has proven that he can lead this team to definitely a playoff spot. So I got Atlanta taking that one.
Yeah, the only thing I have against Kirko is watching him on Sunday night. I mean, he was just a couple plays, man. He's just doing too much, man. So. Plus, motherfucker has concrete on his feet or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, there's no question that the mobility, for what it even little was, it's not there at all. But they got so many weapons, man. Maybe they got to look at Drake London a little bit earlier in the game. But I'm not even that much of a London fan. At the end of the day, get Bijan the rock, power ball, and they got Algiers as one of the best backup backs. So just keep pounding the rock and have a veteran quarterback behind it.
Pounding the walk, baby.
We got Rams at Chicago. You and me both have picked Chicago.
Yeah, look, I know the Colts aren't the greatest team in the world, but we somewhat of a stout defense, and they came pretty close to coming back a couple times. So, Rams being as banged up as they are, I think Chicago has a chance. Caleb Williams threw his first tutty. Maybe that sparks something in him to play a little bit better. And
Yeah,
give me Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, my dog Keenan Allen might be back. I don't know. It seems like he's just really aggravated, with his. I think it's a heel injury, but yeah, I just I don't know. Chicago came in hot coming into the preseason, even though the preseason doesn't mean shit. They look dominant, as a team together. They were winning, and I think they're gonna put something together. And it's a hurt Rams team at home in Chicago. I think Caleb Williams might have his big performance, and people will just start slobbing on his knob on ESPN all next week. That's
like corn on the cob?
Just like corn on the cob.
All right now.
Check in with me.
All right, then we got Minnesota. Shout out Venom at Green Bay. Look, with how Minnesota's been playing, give me Minnesota all day, man. They haven't given me any reason to not kind of root for them at this point. Green Bay. Is Jordan Love back? Do you know?
Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm surprised how probable it seems that he might play. He's been practicing the last couple of days, limited or something, but he's talking to the press he wants to play.
It's crazy.
But regardless, I agree with everything you're saying. I can't bet against Minnesota with the way they're playing.
Until they show me otherwise, right? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
If you're shutting down Houston, who has a ton of powerhouses on offense. Limit them to 7 points, and then you can throw up 34. Dude, give me Minnesota all day. We got the Steelers at my Colts, and it pains me to say this. We're just not doing enough on offense for me to be convinced that we'll produce enough. So I'm taking Pittsburgh on that one.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's defense is scary, dude. Scary, scary. You better hope they don't injure everybody on your team. That's at this point. That's what I have to say about that.
Is this from personal experience?
Yeah, they're Justin Fields is showing that he can play in this offense and be super dynamic. So if you even let him for an ounce of a second, like bounce to the outside, he's making a big play on his feet, and he's actually throwing downfield. So they look hot, man. And
Colts play
no offense,
Colts play
sloppy.
selfish defense, man. Everyone wants a sack instead of containing their man. So unless they can kind of figure that out.
Next game is what?
Denver
at New York.
I think we both agree with this one. Denver, look, they blew out Tampa Bay, but again, I'm going to say that's a fluke or something. I don't know if Baker was just having a bad day or what, but if Aaron Rodgers is continuing to be Aaron Rodgers, they're gonna have a tough time taking them down.
Yeah, New York's ready, man. They're ready to win and produce and try to go for a Super Bowl spot. That's the way they've been playing, at least. And Denver is a project team. Scares me though. Shout out Denver once again. Like, their DBs, man. Like, Patrick Surtain's no question. Probably, I think he's like the best cornerback ultimately in the league. And they got, what's his name? Like Riley Moss. He's like the white corner from Iowa. Not DeJean, but the other one. I think Iowa. But yeah, he's been balling out as a rookie corner. They look good. But yeah. That being said, New York, baby. I'm sure they're gonna dominate.
At home, yeah. Give me the Jets. And then we got Philly at Tampa Bay. I think we both agree that Tampa Bay. Look, even after last week, I still think they're a more dominant team. I'm hoping they bounce back from whatever the hell happened. Philly, if Saquon doesn't produce, then I just don't see them doing much.
And you see it, like, even with Saquon producing, their offense just looks so dysfunctional at times, or at least inconsistent. And it's at Tampa, so I mean that's another thing. I'm taking the home game. Tampa looks, I guess, more consistent, and I love Tampa's defense, dude. I love their defense.
All right, we got Cincy at Carolina. I don't give a shit what Andy Dalton did. I think it's just because no one's watched tape on him for the last 43 years he's been on the bench. Give me Cincinnati.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow had 300-plus yards. I mean,
Yeah, since he's 0-3 though, right? Which is funny. And I would love to see a Andy Dalton revenge game where he takes a dub. Cincinnati's defense has let up a lot of freaking points. So if Carolina somehow can like put it together super, which I don't think they even have a Thielen anymore now. So hopefully Legit and Deontay Johnson, maybe they do something, but. Yeah, I got Cincy getting their first dub of the season. If that means something, who knows? But yeah.
I mean, look, I'd love to watch Andy Dalton shit on them too, but just for the sake of not having to kill myself, I'm going to take the safe bet here. Another safe bet, I believe, is watching this dog shit Jacksonville team play at Houston.
Yeah, and at Houston, I think, I mean, it's C.J. Stroud's young in his NFL career, but your typical great quarterbacks usually don't have two bad performances in a row type thing. You know what I mean? Usually, when one of those great quarterbacks have a bad game, they come back and ball. I think this is going to be your typical game. I think Jacksonville, whether they keep doing their shitty defense or not, and they change it up, they're still going to have growing pains trying to adjust against an elite offense that is probably angry. Come on. If there's any game where I'd bet like the spread or like alternate spread, I think it would be Houston washing Jacksonville today or this Sunday.
100% agree. I think Houston's going to come back with a little bit of chip on their shoulder, getting dogged the way they did on both sides of the ball. Obviously, they have a pretty good defense, so give me Houston all day. And then another game we agree on is the Commies at Arizona.
Yeah, I mean,
give me Arizona.
My Skins, baby, they looked great, but Arizona, they lost last week, if I remember correctly, and they still look like a great defensive team, and I think Kyler Murray's just proven a lot of haters fucking wrong. So, with that being said, Washington's DBs, man, they need to buck up, dog. They need to buck up because if Washington can't score a lot of points, they're not going to win games. That's the best way to put it. It's the nicest way to put it. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, they came off that dub with Cincy, which is shout out them. But Arizona, their defense is really stout, and when you have a guy like Kyler Murray who can just take off on you or chuck it 40 yards down to Marv Harrison Jr., anything can happen down. So give me Arizona. But this is another game where we split up, man. There we go.
Difference. Yeah, New England at San Francisco. You got New England. That's surprising. I understand San Francisco's beat up, but I don't know. I guess I still have that little bit of hate towards New England on some, like, they're not good. But, yeah, they've looked good this year a little bit, way better than I thought. But I'm just not betting against San Francisco at home against New England. I guess what's your opinion on that?
Well, I like New England's defense, to be honest with you. And I think San Francisco's out Debo. They're out George Kittle. Are they out a lineman? I'm not sure. CMC, obviously, on injured reserve.
Yeah, I heard some bad news.
I think Bosa is also out, too. So, with all those injuries, I'm betting on New England. Just kind of squeaking by.
Shout out Juan Jennings. He's going to have a tough matchup against, like you said, a great defense, and Christian Gonzalez, who's like a really good young corner. But Juan Jennings, man, I was saying I swear I was saying it last week. He was going to ball. That motherfucker had like 11 catches, 170 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Look, man, yeah, he had a great time, but I think there was a stat on... Did you watch that show, Receivers, on Amazon Prime or something, or Netflix? When Debo's not on the field, they just produce significantly less offense. Because of how much of a utility player he is and how much focus he gets. So, Debo being out, I think it limits production quite a bit.
Fair. Next game, though, we got Cleveland at Las Vegas.
I know we said fuck the Raiders, but Cleveland just looks like shit, man.
Yeah.
Hey, prove me wrong, Cleveland, but until then, you look like shit.
Yeah, I think this is my first thought to it too is Coach Pierce, like whether you want to question his antics or not, what do you want to call it after the game? Like he was saying, like people were making business decisions. I'm gonna make a business decision then to the team, blah blah. I think he's gonna have the team like fired up because of it. It just seems like they usually come back and do shit like that. And I still am a believer in their defense. I think their defense is gonna make Deshaun's like day a living hell. But yeah.
Yeah, Deshaun has not been the same since he can't get massages, huh?
Stress. Too much stress.
I know, it's in the shoulders, you know what I'm saying?
And semen.
Yep. All right, we got KC at your Chargers.
Yeah.
As much as I want the Chargers to take this one, KC's in the top 3 power rankings for a reason. Again, they keep finding ways to win. Maybe if the refs chill out since they're in L.A.
Probably not. It's probably going to be a swarm of red people in the crowd. And on top of that, like I said before, the Chargers is basically going to be our backup team. I honestly, obviously, I would hope Herbert's good enough to play and he plays great, but, dude, if he's hurt at all, which he was last week, he barely even got rolled on his ankle and re-injured it. Do not play. I would love for us to win, but it'd be dumb for me to pick y'all, unfortunately. Like, it's fucking Kansas City. The refs, if anything, I'll just blame the refs, but yeah.
That's what everyone else does anyway, so.
Exactly.
All right, then we got Buffalo at Baltimore.
Fun game.
We should go to this game.
This would be a fun game. My coworker, those season ticket holder seats we had, he offered me them, but he said he sold them.
Well, we'll look later in the week.
That would be a fun game. I would love to have off that next Monday.
Is that you saying you have off, or?
I might think about it. I go to the dentist that next Monday at 11.
Yeah, I'm free all morning. I got to drive to Middleburg for a work thing in the afternoon.
Yeah, that'd be a fun game. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, let's figure that one out. But look, we got Buffalo both ways, right? They're in the top 3 power rankings. Josh Allen's playing crazy ball. Baltimore, they look better, but they're not quite there yet.
This is not a slight on Baltimore more than anything. It's just Buffalo's nasty.
Buffalo looks too damn good right now.
If we went to that game, I'd be pissed if the Ravens won.
I'd be so mad.
They'd be so happy in there.
All right, we got Tennessee at Miami. Fucking Baltimore fans being happy, man.
Yeah, I love how we both picked Miami, even though they don't have a quarterback, literally. But
neither does Tennessee, to be honest with you.
It's about like, but it's better than having a meme quarterback in Will Levis right now. It's almost like I should pick Tennessee, but nah.
No, I'm not. I can't do it, man. They're at Miami. Look, Achan's still a solid, running back.
How many differences do we have?
I think it's 2 this week, maybe 3, 2.
Is it 2? First game,
New Orleans.
San Fran, and that's
it. Yeah, so 2. You can catch back up though if I shit the bed.
Give me Tennessee, dude.
Oh, he's switching over to Tennessee.
I'm switching because this is the most up in the air game for me. Like I don't have confidence in the sense that. Yeah, man. Miami's. It's not even that because Coach McDaniels is a great coach. I agree that he's a great coach, but he might be. He's a very system-centric coach, and you literally don't have a quarterback that knows that system that can play right now. Skylar Thompson was the only other guy, and he's not playing, most likely. So if you throw, whether it's Tyler Huntley, which is probably going to be Tyler Huntley, or anyone, I mean, it could be Tom Brady. He won't know how to run Mike McDaniel's weird-ass offense, dude.
See, I was thinking the opposite. I think they're going to kind of skinny it up for them, trying to make it simple.
They're going to have to, I guess.
Use your star receivers you have on either side there, and you got a solid running back that can, kind of catch the ball. So good checkdowns. And Tennessee just.
Say no, I'm joking.
Fuck, man.
I'm joking.
All right, so we got 3. This is if you hit on all 3, we're tied.
It's gonna happen. It's like we just get them all wrong. All right, yeah. Detroit Seattle at Detroit. We both have Detroit to finish it off. Yeah.
They look too good, man. They look too good. Look, Seattle looks great too. But like you said, that Detroit narrative, and they play solid ball. I think they lose a couple games here or there, and then they just go on a fucking streak.
That man Montgomery gets in the end zone all the fucking time.
Montgomery,
and Williams on the Rams, man. That motherfucker gets in the end zone all the time. It's crazy.
Montgomery's solid from 10, 15 yards out, man. But I mean, he catches the ball too. I mean, between him and Jahmyr Gibbs, though, it's unfair.
Mm-hmm,
2 solid backs.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but there's our picks. I think your tiebreaker's 45 points. Mine's 44.
Oh shit!
So
it's over.
Hey, baby.
Yeah, man, that'll be it. 3.3 game swing for me, and then we'll be tied neck and neck going into week 5. I'm excited.
There we go.
Fast forward to when I'm like 6 games down.
And then you have to consider killing yourself.
At that point, I'd have to pick some crazy picks. I'd have to start.
You'd have to just do hot take picks every week.
I have the worst season record of all time.
That's fucking beautiful.
I think I did it on Run Your Pool, which fuck Run Your Pool. It costs money now. That's why we have a different image now. But last year, I don't remember it, but I swear my record was pretty impressive. It was one of the top ones. It was for a fantasy league. This is gonna be the segment where I get really excited about losing money so far, right?
Hell yeah, man. I love losing money because that's all we've done on this fucking segment.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, last week it was New England against fucking something. And we picked, the Jets. And then
it was the Jets, and we both missed.
Breece Hall and Ramondre anytime. I had Ramondre over 16.5 receiving yards, and then Demario Douglas over 2.5 catches. If I'm not mistaken, Breece Hall got in the end zone really quickly, right? Right? Or was it Ramondre? It was one of the
No, Ramondre fucked us, I believe.
Yeah, so Breece Hall got in the end zone very quickly. Demario Douglas, the way I exactly saw, he just consistently got some catches. He ended up probably with 4 or 5 catches, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 4. So over the 3. And then Stevenson didn't do shit.
He didn't do a damn thing all game.
Jets defense, man. That's why I was just thinking about this. I don't know about you. We didn't even talk about our parlay thing yet, before this. But and don't let this affect you. I'm just saying, when you do a 4-leg parlay, it's you gotta, if you stay around if you make it around 3 different players, it's dude, what are the odds all 3 of these guys do these things? You gotta keep it around 2 players, you know what I mean, catches and touchdowns. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I don't know, man. I had a 5-player parlay for the Super Bowl, and that basically paid off our Pro Bowl trip.
Well, I already know. We're doing Thursday night, right?
We're doing tonight's game,
And it's the Giants versus the Cowboys, excuse me. Divisional matchup, once again, a weird one. Division matchups can be weird. But I'll tell you my first 2 legs already. I don't know the numbers yet, though, because I'm about to log in and see. But I'm already going to tell you. CeeDee Lamb over on receptions. I'm guessing it's going to be like 6.5 or 7.5. 7.5 is pretty high. I hope it's like 6.5. And then I'm going to do Malik Neighbors anytime touchdown because he's a beast and they're desperate to throw him the ball in the red zone.
So you said you said receptions?
CeeDee Lamb over receptions, yep. And
6.5, okay.
And then I need Malik Neighbors anytime touchdown. Was his regular reception 6.5?
It's 6.5.
Dude, I'm a genius. I should be a bookkeeper or whatever, that line maker. My Wi-Fi's bad down here, man. I'm trying to log in. But those are my 2 options. I hope that didn't intrude on yours.
Well, no, look, I think the Malik Neighbors anytime tutty, it was going to get pulled either way, whether you went first or I went first. So then, with that being said, let me get CD on the over on yardage. And then give me Dak on the over on passing yards.
260.5.
260.5. And CD Lamb's 80.5.
And then we got Malik Neighbors touchdown. Hell yeah. 532, and I'm sure there's promos to fucking boost it to make gambling addicts keep coming back like me. I'm not an addict, guys, but I do keep coming back for that itch. There's a no sweat and a 50% boost. I'm gonna make some money tonight, man.
Give me that motherfucking profit boost.
It's been like $100 max wager lately. You notice that?
Oh, it's 50 for me.
They're trying to get me, bro.
They're trying to fuck you, man.
I got paid today.
You get paid?
For not for podcasting, unfortunately, yo. So that's our parlay, man. And if you guys are still listening, fucking hop on in and join the ride, dude.
Come on, man. Yeah, follow that. Just ride along, baby. Have some faith in us.
Feel the ride.
It's bobsled time, baby.
All right, y'all. So I guess that caps it off. Once again, we're right on the mark with our little 45-minute cap mark. It's beautiful. Is there any outro? Is there anything you want to leave off and say that you forgot to say that you remember all of a sudden? I don't know.
My fellow Americans, please leave a comment. Like the video.
Just a single word.
You can say testicles for all I care.
Testicles.
Get that algorithm up, baby.
Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, pound the walk, baby. I appreciate all you guys.
All right, thanks for all of y'all watching. I know this isn't the most high production stuff, but we appreciate y'all. And that was week 4 of Pound the Walk podcast, baby.
Pound the walk. Was that good? That was like an Asian.
Oh yeah.
Pound the walk. Finish it. Hurry up. Pound the walk. Come on, man.